All right, let's get some, reaction. Let's break down some of that economic update yesterday delivered by our finance minister, Eric Girard. Harvey Bienenstock is our resident CPA, and he's on the line. Harvey, thank you for the time today. And let's begin with, for the individual taxpayer here, what do the numbers come out to you?
Well, it could be a little confusing, so let's just recap. As an employee, if you look at your wage slip at the end, at your pay slip every week, there are 4 taxes that are on there. There's the income tax, which is set by the government, and they take depending on your income bracket, you get increasing rates. There's a QPP, which is the Quebec pension plan that you're forced to put into, and your employer matches it. Then there's the QPIP, which is a maternity leave plan, where if you have a baby, either spouse can take time off and collect. And there's the EI, which is the employment insurance, where if you lose your job, you can get some benefits. So there's 4 things. The employer has to pay and match or have a bigger contribution on 3 of them, but not the income tax. So let's just go through it. On the income tax, the government confirmed that they're going to index the brackets, which means that with inflation, they're going to increase your exemption next year by 2%. But if they hadn't done that, then they'd have a vested interest in inflation because they're getting a piece of your salary increase to cover cost of living, so they kept the indexation. On the QPP, they did not increase the rate that applies to your salary because they do that every year to fund the plan. But because, as Girard said, the Caisse de dépôt made a great return, so that actuarially they have enough money to fund the plan. They don't need an increase. And therefore, they're not going to do it. And they actually decreased the rate for next year by 0.2%. So instead of 6.4%, it's going to be 6.2%.
Smaller contribution that you'll pay as of next year, okay?
Yes, but so it's gone down by 0.2%, which is how you come up with the $230 per year if you're at the max. But what he didn't say is that the income that's subject to this percentage, this is 6.4, is going up from 81.2 to 85. So there's an extra $3,800 of income that you're going to be paying that 6% on. So whatever you think you're saving on the rate, you end up paying because your maximum income has gone up if you're making that maximum.
Oh, okay.
And that there's a second QPP contribution that they added in because they needed the money. If you make more than $73,000, there's an extra 4%. And now it's gone up to 74.6. So you're really paying less premium on the first QPP, but you're on a higher income is subject to it. So they're getting their money back.
Interesting. Okay.
And then there's the QPIP, which is the maternity plan, where they're reducing the rate that you pay from 0.49% to 0.45%. So that's where you get the $137. So there you go. They can't touch the QPP because that's a separate plan, and they can't reallocate that funds like they're doing with the Green Fund to the New Generation Fund. But that's, in a summary, that's the only thing that affects individuals, is those 4 taxes.
Just really quickly, I heard something or saw something written with respect to capital gains, but this is not unique. This is them following the Fed's decision to go ahead and not increase the rate. Am I right?
That's correct. They just confirmed that they're going along with that thing that basically torpedoed the Liberal government. Freeland said, we can't do this, and that's what happened.
Right. So they rolled it back. At the time, Quebec said, no, we're going to keep it in place, but now he's saying we're not going to increase the
Well, I mean, the negatives were so great that if you didn't go along with it, it would be a problem.
Harvey, so that's basically it for the individual taxpayer. That's all you need to know in this update.
That's correct.
Okay. Harvey, thank you so much for the time. Always appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Let me get you a take from Nicolas Gagnon. He's Quebec Director for the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. They have some different points here. Nicolas, thank you for being here. What are you not happy with in this budget?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. Well, overall, we believe that this economic fall update is basically leaving taxpayers hungry for more. As it was just properly explained, yes, there's a couple of reduction regarding to contributions for the Quebec pension plan and the Quebec parental insurance plan that will definitely be helping a bit taxpayers overall. We're talking about a saving, according to the Finance Minister, Eric Girard, that would go up to $137 per taxpayers next year thanks to those adjustments. But overall, we were hoping that this will be finally the opportunity for the Quebec government to either lower gas taxes, as there was a few rumors about it that had been going on for the last couple of weeks, or even go forward and get rid of the carbon tax that we still pay in Quebec, contrary to the rest of the country. So we would have expected that this would be the opportunity to make those adjustments, but sadly, none of it happened yesterday.
By the way, did you happen to hear the minister? Because I asked about the gas tax, right? And he said it's not going to happen because it would have cost Quebec over $1 billion. That's why we're not getting a gas tax cut.
Well, on the other hand, that's the reason why the Quebec government should be looking for saving. That's one of the reasons why they're doing so right now by going into the bureaucracy, like they have explained a few times over the last couple of months, where they announced, for example, bureaucracy cuts or subsidies cuts as well. So definitely there should be more room for this kind of I would say rearrangement into the public finances. Overall, also what we would have prioritized in this case would have been to get rid of the carbon tax altogether, which is currently bringing the Quebec government approximately $1.5 billion a year. And on the other hand, this could have been without any cost to the government if they would also get rid of the green fund as well. But instead, they decided to use a $1.8 billion surplus to send it to the generational fund. But this could have been done in a very different manner. But in this case, the Quebec government decides to continue to force the Quebec carbon tax on both drivers in Quebec, farmers, truckers, and so on. So there was definitely an opportunity for it, but it was completely missed.
Okay. With respect to spending, I asked that question as well about reducing spending. What did you hear here that you thought was good or not?
Well, for now, how we know is that the spendings have actually increased since the last budget by $800 million. And when we look at those numbers, we realize that the spending right now, most of that increase is going to the debt service, which has increased on the projection by approximately $500 million. If we look at, for example, the budget that was brought in March 2025, this year it would have cost to taxpayers approximately $9.7 billion in debt service. Now it's going to cost $10.2 billion. So just there, half a billion dollars more in spending just to cover for debt services. Overall, yes, there's a small slowdown in spendings overall, but we haven't seen really how this has impacted I would say the fiscal outcome for the next for this year or the next couple of years. So we're definitely hoping to see more of those results by the next budget in March. But for now, we only see that, overall the debt service is increasing, the debt itself is increasing, but we haven't seen anything regarding spending overall.
All playing catch up. All right, Nicolas, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Nicolas Gagnon from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. There you go.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
or the free iHeartRadio app.